The world changed overnight. Humans woke up to the news that they were not alone in the universe. At first, many thought it was a joke or a trick. But as alien ships appeared in the skies over major cities, the truth became clear. Sarah Chen, a young doctor in New York, watched the events unfold on her TV. Her hand shook as she held her coffee mug. "This can't be real," she whispered. But it was real. And Sarah would soon play a bigger role than she could have imagined. The aliens, calling themselves the Galactic Council, asked to meet with Earth's leaders. They chose the United Nations in New York as the meeting place. Sarah's hospital was nearby, chosen to host alien medical experts. As Sarah walked into work that day, she saw her first alien up close. It looked like a tall blue tree with 4 arms and big, kind eyes. Sarah's fear melted away as the alien smiled at her. "Hello," it said in perfect English. "I am Dr. Zix. You must be Dr. Chen." Sarah nodded, amazed. "How do you know my name?" Zix's eyes twinkled. "We've been studying your planet for a while. Your work on cell regeneration is very impressive." Before Sarah could respond, they were called into a meeting room. Human and alien doctors gathered around a large table. The head of the hospital, Dr. Thompson, looked nervous as he started the meeting. "We're here to share medical knowledge," he said. "Our alien friends have some surprising news about human biology." Zix stood up. He touched a device on his wrist, and a 3D image of human cells appeared in the air. "Humans," he said, "your ability to heal is unlike anything we've seen in the galaxy." The room fell silent. Sarah leaned forward, curious. Zix continued, "Your cells can repair damage that would kill any other species. It's as if you don't know how to die." Gasps filled the room. Dr. Thompson dropped his pen. Sarah's mind raced with questions. "What do you mean?" she asked. "We do die. We get sick. We age." Zix nodded. "Yes, but at a much slower rate than any species we know. Your old age would be childhood for some races, and your ability to survive injury and disease is remarkable." As proof, Zix showed videos of humans surviving accidents that should have been fatal. He explained how human DNA repaired itself in ways alien scientists couldn't understand. "We believe," Zix said, "that humans could be key to solving many galactic health problems. Your biology could help us cure diseases, extend lifespans, maybe even cheat death itself." The human doctors looked at each other in shock. Sarah felt a mix of pride and fear. What would this mean for humanity? As the meeting ended, news of the immortal humans spread across the globe and beyond. Some people celebrated, seeing a bright future ahead. Others worried about what aliens might do to study this human superpower. Sarah walked home that evening, her mind spinning. The streets were filled with people talking excitedly about the aliens. She overheard one man say, "We're special. The aliens need us." But Sarah couldn't shake a feeling of unease. If humans were so valuable, would they be treated as equals in the galaxy or as resources to be used? As she reached her apartment, Sarah's phone beeped. It was a message from Dr. Zix, inviting her to join a special research team. "Your expertise could help bridge our species," the message said. Sarah took a deep breath. She knew her answer could change her life, and maybe the future of humanity. With shaking hands, she typed her reply. "I'm in." The next chapter of human history was about to begin, and Sarah would be right at the heart of it. The news about humans spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On thousands of planets, aliens of all shapes and sizes talked about the strange beings from Earth who seemed to defy death. In the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, representatives from hundreds of species gathered. The room buzzed with excited chatter and worried whispers. High Counselor Drek called for silence. His tree-like body creaked as he stood. "We are here," he said, "to discuss the humans and their place in our galactic community." A small red alien named Blix jumped up. "They're too dangerous," he shouted. "What if they decide to conquer us all?" "They can't die." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. But then, a tall, graceful alien named Laura stood. "Friends," she said, her voice soft but firm, "the humans don't want to conquer us. They want to learn from us, just as we can learn from them." The debate raged on. Some aliens saw humans as a threat. Others saw them as the key to longer lives for all. A few even suggested worshipping humans as gods. Meanwhile, back on Earth, things were changing fast. Alien tourists flocked to human cities, eager to see the deathless ones for themselves. Some humans enjoyed the attention. Others felt like animals in a zoo. Dr. Sarah Chen, now working with the alien research team, found herself in the middle of it all. She sat in a lab, looking at human and alien cells under a microscope. Dr. Zix floated nearby, his blue skin glowing with excitement. "Look, Sarah," he said, "when we mix human cells with Zygonian cells, the Zygonian cells start to heal faster." Sarah smiled, but her eyes were worried. "That's amazing, Zix. But I'm concerned. Some humans are getting scared. They think aliens might try to steal our DNA or experiment on us." Zix's glow dimmed. "I understand," he said. "Change is hard. But think of the good we could do. We could cure diseases across the galaxy." Just then, Sarah's phone beeped. It was a news alert. She gasped as she read it. "Oh no," she said. "A group of aliens just tried to kidnap some humans in Brazil. They were caught. But people are panicking." Zix's eyes widened. "This is bad. Very bad. We need to talk to the council right away." On the other side of the galaxy, a secret meeting was taking place. In a dark room, shadowy figures whispered to each other. "The humans are too valuable to be left alone," one voice said. "Agreed," said another. "If they won't share their secret willingly, we must take it." Back in the council hall, the debate had turned into a shouting match. Suddenly, the doors burst open. A young alien ran in, out of breath. "News from Earth," he yelled. "There's been an attack on humans." The room fell silent. High Counselor Drek's face turned dark. "This is what we feared," he said. "If we don't act now, this situation could lead to war." He turned to the Earth representative, a nervous-looking man named John. "We need your help," Drek said. "We must show the galaxy that humans are friends, not tools or threats." John nodded, his voice shaky but determined. "We're ready to work with you, but we need guarantees of our safety." As Drek and John shook hands, and tentacles, a new chapter in galactic history began. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with both danger and hope. In her lab on Earth, Sarah looked up at the stars. She knew that the future of humanity, and perhaps the whole galaxy, hung in the balance. Whatever happened next would change everything forever. 6 months had passed since the galaxy learned about humans. Things were changing fast. Humans were now joining alien crews on spaceships, exploring the stars they had only dreamed about before. On the starship Cosmos, Captain Aria Khan stood on the bridge. She was the first human to command a mixed crew of aliens and humans. The ship hummed as it flew through space. Captain called Zorn, her lizard-like pilot. "We're approaching the nebula X9. It's beautiful and dangerous." Aria nodded. "Slow us down, Zorn. We need to be careful here." The nebula X9 was a cloud of colorful gases, but hidden inside were powerful energy storms that could destroy ships. As they entered the nebula, alarms started to blare. "Energy spike," shouted Clix, the 4-armed alien at the science station. "A storm is forming right in front of us." Aria's mind raced. They couldn't turn back in time. They had to go through. "Everyone, hold on," she yelled. "Zorn, full speed ahead. Aim for the center of the storm." The aliens looked at her like she was crazy, but they had learned to trust human instincts. The ship shook violently as it entered the storm. Lightning-like energy crackled around them. Most alien ships would have been torn apart, but the Cosmos, built with human survival techniques, held together. They burst out the other side, safe but damaged. The alien crew cheered, amazed at what they had just survived. "How did you know that would work?" Clicks asked Aria. She smiled. "On Earth, storm chasers often drive into the eye of a storm where it's calmer. I thought the same might work here." Word of their adventure spread quickly. Soon, more ships were asking for human crew members. Humans' ability to think quickly and survive tough situations was becoming famous. Meanwhile, on a small planet called Zygon, a crisis was brewing. The planet's core was becoming unstable, threatening to destroy everything. "We need to evacuate," said Governor Yura, her green skin pale with worry. "But our ships can't get past the acid storms in our atmosphere." That's when she got an idea. She sent a message to the Galactic Council. "Send humans. They might be our only hope." A team of human scientists and pilots arrived on Zygon. They studied the problem and came up with a daring plan. Dr. Sarah Chen, now a respected expert on human biology, led the team. "We'll modify your ships with a coating based on human skin cells," she explained. "Our healing ability might let the ships repair damage from the acid in real time." The Zygonians were skeptical but desperate. They agreed to try. As the first ship took off, everyone held their breath. It rose into the stormy sky, acid rain pelting its hull. But the human-inspired coating worked. The ship made it to space safely. Over the next week, humans helped evacuate the entire planet. As the last ship left, the planet's surface began to crack. Back on the rescue ship, Governor Yura approached Sarah. "You saved us all," she said, her eyes filled with tears. "How can we ever thank you?" Sarah smiled. "By remembering that we're all in this together. Humans, Zygonians, and every species in the galaxy." News of the Zygon rescue spread across the stars. More and more aliens began to see humans not as a threat, but as protectors. In the Galactic Council, attitudes were changing. "The humans have proven themselves again," said High Counselor Drek. "Perhaps it's time we offered them a permanent place on this council." As humans took their place among the stars, the galaxy entered a new age of cooperation and adventure. The human factor was changing everything, one impossible survival at a time. In a dimly lit room on a distant planet, shadowy figures gathered around a table. They called themselves the Immortality Seekers, a secret group of aliens obsessed with living forever. "The humans hold the key to eternal life," hissed their leader, a tall, skeletal being named Zex. "We must have it, no matter the cost." Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Sarah Chen was working late in her lab. She yawned, stretching her arms. Suddenly, her computer beeped. A message popped up. "Danger. Humans at risk." Sarah's heart raced. The message was from her alien friend, Dr. Zix. It warned of a plot to kidnap humans for experiments. Just then, the lights went out. Sarah heard footsteps. She quickly hid under her desk, holding her breath. Two figures entered the room. In the dim emergency lights, Sarah saw they weren't human. They had long, spindly limbs and glowing eyes. "The human scientist should be here," one said. "Boss X wants her alive." Sarah's mind raced. She needed to warn someone. Slowly, she reached for her phone. Across the galaxy, Captain Aria Khan was enjoying some rest on her ship, the Cosmos. Her alien crew members were teaching her a strange board game when an urgent call came in. "Captain Khan." It was John, the human representative on the Galactic Council. "We have a situation. Humans are being kidnapped across the galaxy." Aria's face hardened. "We're on it," she said. "Send us the details." As the Cosmos raced through space, more reports came in. Humans were disappearing from Earth, space stations, and alien worlds. Back in Sarah's lab, the aliens were getting closer. Just as they were about to find her, the door burst open. Dr. Zix rushed in, his blue skin glowing brightly. "Stop right there," he shouted. The kidnappers, surprised by the light, stumbled back. Sarah seized the moment. She grabbed a fire extinguisher and sprayed the aliens. They slipped and fell, giving Sarah and Zix time to escape. As they ran, Zix explained, "I uncovered a conspiracy," he panted. "A group called the Immortality Seekers. They want to use humans to make themselves live forever." Across the stars, the Galactic Council was in chaos. Some accused others of being behind the kidnappings. Trust was breaking down. High Counselor Drek struggled to keep order. "We must work together," he pleaded, "or this crisis will tear the galaxy apart." That's when Captain Khan's ship arrived. With her was a team of human and alien investigators, including Sarah and Zix. "We have proof," Arya announced. She played a recording they had intercepted. It revealed the Immortality Seekers' plan and named some of their secret members, including a few council members. The room erupted in shock and anger. Guards quickly arrested the accused. But the danger wasn't over. Reports came in of a massive ship approaching Earth. It was the Immortality Seekers, making one last desperate attempt to capture humans en masse. "We need to stop them," Sarah said. "But how?" Zix's eyes lit up. "I have an idea," he said. "But it's risky. We'll need to use the humans' incredible survival abilities in a way we never have before." As the enemy ship loomed over Earth, a small team snuck aboard. Sarah, Arya, Zix, and a few brave volunteers from different species worked quickly to put Zix's plan into action. They would use modified human cells to create a virus, but not a harmful one. This virus would spread the humans' healing ability to anyone it infected. "If we can't stop them from trying to become immortal," Sarah explained, "we'll give them what they want, but on our terms." As alarms blared and enemy forces closed in, the team raced to release the virus into the ship's air system. The fate of humanity, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The virus spread quickly through the Immortality Seekers' ship. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly, the kidnappers began to change. "What's happening to me?" Zix, the leader, cried out. He watched in amazement as a cut on his hand healed instantly. But the Immortality Seekers weren't satisfied. They wanted more than just healing. They wanted to control the power of human immortality. "Capture those humans," Zix ordered. "We'll make them tell us all their secrets." Alarms blared throughout the ship. Sarah, Arya, and Zix ran for their lives, dodging laser blasts and alien guards. "We need to get off this ship," Arya shouted. They rounded a corner and found themselves face to face with a group of armed aliens. Suddenly, a voice boomed over the ship's speakers. It was High Counselor Drek. "Attention, Immortality Seekers. You are surrounded. Surrender now." Outside, a fleet of Galactic Council ships had arrived. But the Seekers weren't going to give up easily. Zex's voice crackled over the comm system. "Never. If we can't have immortality, no one will." The massive ship turned towards Earth, weapons powering up. "They're going to attack Earth," Sarah gasped. Across the galaxy, news of the crisis spread. Many aliens who feared or distrusted humans saw this as a chance to get rid of them. They joined the Immortality Seekers. Other aliens, who had come to respect and value humans, rallied to Earth's defense. The galaxy was splitting in two. On Earth, humans watched the sky in fear as strange ships battled above them. It was like something out of a sci-fi movie, but all too real. In space, Captain Khan took command of the defense fleet. "Protect Earth at all costs," she ordered. Ships from 100 alien worlds fought side by side with human vessels. The battle raged on. Lasers lit up space. Ships exploded in silent bursts of fire. It seemed like the war could go on forever. Then Sarah had an idea. "The virus," she said. "We can use it to end the war." Working quickly with Zix and other scientists, they modified the virus. Now, instead of just healing, it would bring a feeling of peace and understanding. "If we can spread this to all the ships," Sarah explained, "maybe we can make them stop fighting." It was a crazy plan, but they were out of options. Using the council ships, they released the new virus into space. It floated between the battling ships like a glittering mist. At first, nothing changed. The battle raged on. But then, slowly, ships began to stop firing. On the Seeker's ship, Zex felt a strange calm come over him. He looked at his hands, seeing them heal over and over. "What have we done?" he whispered. Similar scenes played out across the battlefield. Aliens who had been fighting moments before now stared at each other in confusion and shame. High Counselor Drek's voice came over all channels. "Let this be the end of our conflict," he said. "We have all been given a gift today, the human gift of healing. Let us use it to heal our divisions." As the fighting stopped, cheers erupted from Earth and across the galaxy. Humans and aliens alike celebrated the end of the short but devastating war. In the days that followed, Sarah, Aria, and their friends were hailed as heroes. The virus had not only stopped the war, but had spread human healing abilities to many alien species. "What happens now?" Aria asked as they stood before the Galactic Council. Drek smiled. "Now we rebuild, and we learn to live together, all of us, in peace." As the galaxy began to heal, a new era dawned. Humans, once feared and coveted for their unique abilities, were now seen as teachers and friends. The age of isolation was over. The age of galactic cooperation had begun. 5 years had passed since the Great Galactic War. The universe had changed in ways no one could have imagined. On a beautiful spring day, Dr. Sarah Chen stood on a balcony overlooking New Earth City. The skyline was a mix of human and alien architecture. Flying cars zipped between buildings, while in the parks below, children of various species played together. Sarah smiled as she saw a young human girl helping a small, tentacled alien child learn to climb a tree. "Who would have thought?" she said to herself. Behind her, the door opened. Captain Aria Khan, now Admiral Khan, walked in. "Ready for the big meeting?" she asked. Sarah nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be." They made their way to the newly built Galactic Council headquarters. Inside, representatives from thousands of worlds sat in a grand circular chamber. At the center stood High Counselor Drek, looking older but happier than ever. "Friends, colleagues, fellow beings of the galaxy," Drek began. 5 years ago, we faced our greatest crisis. Today, we celebrate our greatest triumph." The room erupted in cheers and strange alien sounds of joy. Drek continued, "Thanks to the bravery of humans and the allies who stood with them, we not only avoided destruction but found a path to a brighter future for all." He gestured to Sarah and Aria. "Dr. Chen, Admiral Khan, please step forward." As they walked to the center, Sarah felt a mix of pride and nervousness. So much had changed because of their actions. "These two," Drek said, along with countless others, "showed us the true power of humanity. Not just their ability to survive, but their capacity for compassion, innovation, and unity in the face of great challenges." The virus that had ended the war had done more than just heal. It had given many species a taste of human resilience. But more importantly, it had opened minds and hearts across the galaxy. "Today," Drek announced, "we take the next step in our journey together. The Galactic Council will be restructured. Humans will no longer be just members, but will take a leading role in shaping our future." Excited murmurs filled the room. Some aliens looked worried, but most seemed hopeful. Sarah stepped up to speak. "We are honored by your trust," she said. "Humans have learned so much from our galactic neighbors. We hope to continue learning and growing together." Aria added, "Our goal isn't to rule, but to help build a galaxy where every species can thrive, where we explore the stars not as competitors, but as one united galactic family." As the council meeting ended, a new age truly began. Humans and aliens worked side by side on incredible projects. Massive space stations were built as hubs for interstellar culture and commerce. The secrets of human healing were unlocked, leading to medical breakthroughs that helped beings across the galaxy. Earth became a center for galactic education, with aliens from all over coming to learn and share knowledge. Human creativity and alien technology combined to create art and music that could be enjoyed by all species. But it wasn't always easy. There were still those who distrusted humans or wanted to exploit their abilities. Sarah, Aria, and their friends remained vigilant, working to solve conflicts and promote understanding. One evening, as Sarah watched the sunset from the top of the Galactic Council Tower, Zix joined her. The blue alien scientist had become one of her closest friends. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Zix asked. Sarah shook her head. "Never. When we first met, I was terrified of aliens. Now, I can't imagine life without all of this." Zix's skin glowed softly. "Humans taught us that it's not about knowing how to die," he said. "It's about knowing how to live." As the first stars appeared in the sky, Sarah felt a sense of excitement. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and challenges they had yet to discover. But now, they would face it all together. The human factor had changed everything, and the greatest adventures were still to come.